Both former President Donald Trump and former Vice President Mike Pence have more classified documents that were found with them. And some of them were electronic files, which means that they could have been copied. They were found on a laptop. I'll give you the details on that. Also, the IRS says to millions and millions of people, don't file your tax returns yet. And I'll give you the reason why here in this video and more. So let's jump right in. Thank you so much for liking these videos. If you appreciate them, it really helps out our YouTube channel with the YouTube algorithm and helps our channel grow. Let's jump right in here and I'll give you the details. Okay, as you can see here, the Trump legal team turns over additional classified materials to federal prosecutors. According to legal reports, these were electronic classified materials that were copied onto a laptop. And who knows where they could have been copied to as well. Take a listen to this.
ABC News is reporting tonight that Donald Trump's legal team turned over yet another folder with classification markings to federal investigators. It was retrieved last month from his Mar-a-Lago resort. The folder's contents were apparently copied onto a laptop, which is really important because it marks the first time anyone has suggested electronic copies were made of classified records in Trump's possession. From the ABC report, quote, Trump attorney James Trusty turned over the folder with classification markings to federal investigators and also informed agents that it had been electronically copied to a laptop of a current Trump aide. ABC News has also learned that after the information was recovered, federal agents retrieved the laptop from the aide. The laptop was not retrieved on the Mar-a-Lago grounds, the sources said. CNN Tonight reports that in addition to the folder, which was entitled Classified Evening Briefing, Trump's team also handed over an unknown number of classified documents. It also reports that the aide and owner of the laptop works for the Save America PAC, and that they copied some of the documents onto a thumb drive and laptop, not realizing they were classified. The thumb drive was also reportedly given to investigators. Now, I should note that NBC News has not yet confirmed this reporting. While it is customary for laptops and other electronics to be reviewed in circumstances such as this, for the first time, raises the question of whether classified materials were shared electronically by Trump or others in his inner circle. This marks the fifth batch of classified materials found in Trump's possession. The first discovery was made in January of last year after Trump finally returned 15 boxes of classified materials to the National Archives. Inside, they found 184 documents with classified markings and referred the matter to the FBI. Months later, June of 2022, after DOJ sent Trump a subpoena, his legal team turned over 38 more classified documents. Now, at the time, one Trump lawyer certified that, to the best of her knowledge, Trump had no further classified documents in his possession. That was until August of 2022, when the DOJ, suspecting that Trump did have more documents, took the dramatic step of obtaining a search warrant and recovered 27 boxes from Mar-a-Lago, including an additional 103 classified documents. Around Thanksgiving, Trump's team found 2 more classified documents at a West Palm Beach storage unit belonging to the former president. Which brings us to today's news. The Trump's lawyers found and turned over a folder with classification markings materials that reportedly were copied to the laptop of a current Trump aide.
Also, former Vice President Mike Pence had more classified documents found with him as well. Take a look here. Yeah, Mike Pence's spokesperson says that the FBI finds another classified document. The FBI found another classified document during a search of the Indiana home of former Vice President Mike Pence. Authorities also took 6 other pages of records that did not bear classified markings after completing the 5-hour search, but they must have been important enough to be taken. The National Archives was previously informed that a, quote, small number of documents with classified markings had been found at the vice president's residence. Classified documents had earlier been found at President Joe Biden's home in Delaware as well. In addition to this, former Vice President Mike Pence has also been subpoenaed by the DOJ, and former Vice President Pence's aide is saying that this will provide him a security blanket. For the reason being is that this is in regards into January 6th, and this will be that Mike Pence will have to testify, and he'll have to. Basically his cover up or his story can be with that he's forced to testify, and he didn't willingly want to, but he was basically had to testify here, which kind of gives him a little bit of a cover up story here. Um, is basically what the aide is saying here. So you guys can let me know your thoughts here on this. But yeah, so it also makes you kind of wonder here because remember, I mentioned this in a previous video that senators and congressmen and congresswomen from the House of Representatives also get classified documents. Okay, when they're part of committees, and you think about the House Intelligence, the Foreign Affairs committees, and things like that. They also get classified documents. You might not think about this, but they do. Okay. Um, it also makes me kind of wonder how many senators, ex-senators, House of Representatives, ex-House of Representatives have classified documents at their homes. Yeah. Yeah, so it makes me really kind of wonder. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here on this. And I really have to wonder, you if you really got to think about this, how many ex-congressmen there are alive. Can you imagine them searching all the ex-congressmen's or even current congressmen's homes? But see, if they're current congressmen, it's they would technically have access to it. The only problem would be is that really they're kind of not really supposed to have it at their home. Like current President Biden is he has access to all of the classified documents. The only real issue there was that they were previous documents from when he was a senator and a vice president, and then there was that time that elapsed in between. So now he's the president. So now he has access to um, presidential documents, okay, because he's a president. And I'm not sure about the ruling of having him at his home because he is the president and he handles stuff at his home even as the president. Now, senators and House representatives, what the ruling is of having it at their home. I don't think they're supposed to take it. I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to take it home because they're asked, "Do you have any documents?" You're not supposed to take it there. These classified documents for sure. Um, so but if they're in office, I wouldn't think that it would be that egregious of an offense. But if they're out of office, then it's a worser of offense if you're just kind of looking at like the severity of things. Now, if former President Donald Trump and Mike Pence and even Biden would be charged, and again, we're looking at like the severity of things here. You know, they've all had these documents. Can let me know your thoughts here on this, but it's just kind of like now former President Donald Trump has, as you've seen there, mentioned 5 different batches of classified documents, and the first batch alone was 15 boxes with I think it was 184 documents alone, and now this last one has a laptop with electronic classified documents copied onto it. And once it's copied onto a laptop, who knows where it went there? Did it get copied other places? Did it get sent? Did it get emailed? Like, who knows what happened there? That's kind of like unbelievable, right? And honestly, who knows what we're going to find out even more going forward? How many congressmen and senators have it? Okay, the IRS is saying they want millions of Americans to delay further filing taxes until further notice. Here's the details why, and whether or not you may fall into this category. Here's the details on this. The IRS is recommending that taxpayers hold off on filing their tax returns for 2022 if they received a special tax refund or payment from their state last year, 2022. Also, you might know it as an inflation relief check, a stimulus check from the state, anything like that. Last year, this article says 19 states offer diverse programs. We counted somewhere around 35 states, but some of these states had kind of like one-off different type of programs that did it there. But at least this is what this article is saying here. 19 states offer diverse programs that offered inflation relief payments or refunds for taxpayers. Remember that some of them were like for children, some of them were property tax relief payments, some of them were different kind of payments, and that might be where we go from 19 to 35, and stuff like that here. But we'll just continue here. The IRS issued the guidance Friday due to the agency's uncertainty about the taxability of the payments. They're saying, quote, we are working with state tax officials as quickly as possible to provide additional information and clarity for the taxpayers. Um, for residents from states such as California and Illinois, the agency is recommending that they hold off on filing their tax returns until they receive further instructions from the IRS. I have the full list of the 19, at least, what they're saying here. If you received a state tax refund last year, here is what you need to know. I got a tax refund from my state. What does the IRS statement mean for me? If you got a tax refund from your state in 2022, the IRS is recommending you hold off on filing your tax return until the agency gives further instructions. Certain states that provided these refunds, because remember, they're in some cases tax refunds. So that might change the way your taxes are calculated. Okay, doesn't necessarily mean you owe more taxes or not. It may not. Okay, it might just mean that you have a lesser refund or something like that. But certain states have provided these refunds have determined that these payments are not taxable for most people, as you can see right here. So don't get all worked up. But remember that some of these payments are tax refunds. Okay. What needs to be determined is that these refunds are taxable on the federal level. That needs to be determined if they are. Okay. Again, don't get too excited. You have to determine this or not. Everybody jumps to conclusions, and you have to determine whether or not this is. But in some cases, if you got a $600 check, it might mean just, $50 or something like that. I don't know. You have to determine this type of stuff out here. Okay. In some states, people would get taxed if they received a tax refund in 2022 only if they itemize their deductions. So, again, sometimes this might account for some people, sometimes it might not, said Keith Hall, president and CEO of the National Association for Self Employed. An example of a state that is taking this route is Virginia, which had stated that taxpayers that filed a standard deduction will not be taxed for their state tax rebate. However, not all states have issued guidance on their tax rebates. Why should I wait to file my return? However, the IRS recommendations is key if taxpayers want to avoid having to amend a previously filed return, which is why the IRS is saying wait if you got a state tax refund or state check, inflation reduction check, whatever they're calling it, like California or not. Filing U.S. Tax Form 1040, I think the IRS is trying to help people save another filing, like an amended tax return, if they have to do an amended tax return. I received a refund and already filed my taxes. What should I do? The IRS is recommending that you don't file an amended return yet. If you believe you need to file an amended return, the IRS advises you wait until further instructions are given. IRS to require facial recognition scans to access tax returns. A new program is being launched by the IRS and will require you to scan your face to provide other personal data in order to be able to access your online data. Let me know your thoughts on that. Scanning your face. Wow. Do you think that's more secure? Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think that's a bad idea? Are you not happy with that, or do you think it's more secure and better, so you won't have your tax returns and information stolen? Which states offered special tax returns, at least based on the 19 here? Special tax refunds were offered by 19 states. The list includes Alaska, California, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Virginia. If you're not sure, I'll come back to that in a second. If you're not sure if this applies to you, you need to wait to file your taxes. Recommend you consult with a tax professional about your specific situation. Yeah. So I'll talk about some of these here. So, like, for example, Florida. Florida did not have a statewide tax refund check or relief check, but they did have, they had some that pertained to like some children in some cases. And they also had some that went out to teachers and first responders for $1,000. So that's like why you would see like Florida there. Hawaii had what was it? I think it was like $300 and $100 for children there. Maine had a couple different ones, I think there. Alaska had like $3,200 a person. California, of course, we know had, the biggest one there, it's like up to 32 million people, $350 per person, up to 1,050 if you had up to three people. Um, Illinois had, one of the smaller ones there was $50 per adult, up to $100 for two adults, but also it had $100 per child, up to three children. So you could get up to $300 per three children. So a total of up to $400 per family there. But they also had a property tax rebate check there as well if you're a property owner, and that was up to an additional $300. So they had like multi tiers there as well. They also had a gas reduction thing there and a couple other things as well in there as well. So it's kind of like a package there. Yeah. So, and if you watched my channel throughout the year, you really got to see I covered probably all of these throughout the year, and really more because I really covered more states that really just kind of had some like unique ones that maybe covered certain groups of people and stuff like that that maybe weren't for like a large group of the state or something like that. Like even like California, it doesn't go out to every single person in the state. It was like for like 30 million or 32 million people, but even so, the state of California has like 50 million people. So it still doesn't go out for everybody. There's income requirements and stuff like that, and et cetera, right? So let me know your thoughts. As always, part of my mission on this channel is to help out as many people as possible. A lot of people just don't know about this stuff. The mainstream media doesn't cover this stuff. And, a lot of your local news stations, they cover local news mostly and don't help out mass amounts of group of people like I do here on our YouTube channel. So let me know your thoughts on this. And as always, I'm trying to help as many people as possible here on our channel. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just click the subscribe button, then the bell icon is completely free. And this way you won't miss out on our new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, if you can, hit the like button for us and share this video for us. It really helps out on my channel, and I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel because I feel like right now our YouTube channel is being suppressed on YouTube, and I'm really trying to get it up and going here. So thank you so much. Here's some videos you can watch next as well. Here's my newest video on Social Security updates that you can watch next. There's a lot going on right now. And here is my newest video on what Russia and Vladimir Putin just did, and it's really big news. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.